Okay. Family statement regarding Kiely May Rodni. Friends, family, law enforcement, media, and our global community. We are eternally grateful for the love and support you've shown us in the last couple of weeks. We have weathered a storm of unfathomable force, and it is purely thanks to the army of warriors, matriarchs, healers, and helpers holding us up that we continue to stand today. Mr. Rogers famously told a story of looking for the helpers whenever he saw scary things in the news. We have not had to look for the helpers, as you have all come to our rescue in full force. We are forever indebted to you. While we accept the sadness cast under death's shadow, the rising sun shines light upon us. So I guess even though the autopsy hasn't been released and they haven't 100% confirmed from law enforcement that it's Kiely that was in the car, I mean, her family's saying it, so it is. I know it's obvious, and there's always a chance that imagine if it wasn't her in the car, that will be quite a twist in the case. But they are saying they're accepting it, right? So while we accept the sadness cast under death's shadow, the rising sun shines light upon us, reminding us not to mourn our loss, but to celebrate Kiely's spirit and the gift that we all received in knowing her. Kiely will surely remain with us, even though we will not get her back. There are certain occasions when words fail. Perhaps this is why our human nature has given us art, dance, and music, which all are often more effective ways to connect us to each other and our rawest emotions. Kindly excuse us as we retreat and dance privately to life's song while we celebrate our daughter's spirit and heal our souls. In gratitude, the Rodni Niemann family. Okay, so Kiely Rodni's autopsy will be, presumably, that would be then her car was found in the Prosser Reservoir by Adventures with Purpose on Sunday. Sunday would be what? August 21st. August 21st on Sunday. And the autopsy will be conducted today. I don't know, I know everyone's waiting to hear results of the autopsy. For instance, was there water in her lungs? Did she drown or did she die before the time and all that? I understand. I'm getting all your emails and all your messages. I wonder too. But I don't know if we're going to get it today. I'm not sure. Sometimes it takes time, right? Even though they're conducting it today, it takes time to analyze all the results and everything, right? So there's that. So this is on the Find Kiely Rodni page if you want to see it again. It's on all their social media. Let's just see what's on the link tree here. And then just for 1 second, I just want to remove this so I don't dox anyone here on my Instagram. Okay, so I just want to show you Jagger's posts. He said, I want all of you to look at this and remember what Kiely would want. We all need to stay strong for her family, and for each other. Nobody's in this alone. If anybody or if anyone needs to talk about literally anything, I'm here for you. Kiely would want me to keep her friends and family safe, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. After all this, you are all my family. And what he posted there, if we can see it, would be this one that says, you are forever in my heart, and I guess now you are forever a physical part of me. I will use this as a reminder to spread your word to others. You will always be my world. Stay alive for me. I mean, that looks like a tattoo, right? Is that a tattoo, right? Damn. Looks painful. And I don't know if he did it himself. Ouch. It says stay alive for me. Right? So yeah. And he shared that as well. See here, he said, thank you all for your apologies and showing how much you care. My DMs are blowing up and it's becoming a little bothersome. If I could have a little peace, I'd really appreciate it. So don't blow up his DMs, okay? Yeah, it looks like a raised, very fresh tattoo. Yes. So I hope his parents can get him someone to talk to. Yes. So yeah, there's that update. And then what I wanted to show you is here. Then we're going to find my friend. Rose. Shout out to Rose, who shares a lot of missing persons cases on her profile here. Go follow Rose at 901Lulu. And Rose, I believe, if you guys were here with me during the Gap Tito case coverage days, remember when Doug live Northport, Florida, who, by the way, is doing okay. If you didn't know, he's doing okay now, which is amazing. Like, whoa, the thing is he survived. He drove past the laundry house one day and Rose was standing outside and he was like, "Are you related to the laundries?" Rose was like, "No." So I think that's the first time I saw Rose. So this Spaces, man, I wish it was. I was like 3:30 in the morning for me, right? And I was so trying to stay awake to be on this Twitter Spaces. It would have been great, right? But we're going to listen to some of it now because Steve, the PI who gave us the drone footage, remember, anyone questioning whether he's a PI or not, do you really think the FBI, Kylie's grandfather, dad, and all the law enforcement out there would just let someone just walk around and be around there as they pulled Kylie's car out the water? I don't think so. Thank you for sharing Rose's Twitter. Thank you. I believe, actually, I have to go look again, but I think, I covered this Kiely Rodni case on August 8th, and I do believe it's because Rose shared something on the case. And I'm like, oh, and I'm like, this case, wow, that sounds interesting. So, yeah, brought it to you guys because of Rose on August 8th. And then, damn, by August 11th, the whole internet was sharing the case because it's a very interesting case. Well, it is still a very interesting case, right? So thank you. Now we're going to look at this. Wait. Play it. Yes. Let me know if you can hear it. We got it.
So,
okay. Can you guys wait. Let's just see. Can you guys hear it?
What's the form, like how, I know we wanted to kind of do a Q&A, maybe clear some things up or your questions that people might have. Clarify things.
I just want to check. Can you hear it? Put a 1 in the chat if you can, please. Also, while I'm waiting to see what you guys say, yesterday there was an article that someone sent me that says, I must look at it again. Rose is a lady on Twitter that shares a lot of missing persons cases and flyers and helps to spread awareness. Sound okay? All right. There was an article that someone sent me yesterday that said that Adventures with Purpose has said that law enforcement told them not to bother searching the area that they found Kiely Rodni's car in. Wow. They're like, don't bother. We've searched it enough already. But they wanted to see it anyway. They wanted to go and search there anyway. So thank goodness they did that, right? Okay, so you can hear it.
Things, but is there a way of doing that? I'm not real familiar with Spaces.
Now, before I play this and just shut up, I was like, come on, play it, G. Before I play it, okay, and just keep quiet so we can hear it. Steve is the PI that was out there, and he took the drone footage, which many of you pointed out. Oh my word, there's Kylie's car. Some of you literally saw her car in the footage, which is like, wait, what? Oh my word. And so the drone footage, I believe drone footage in these missing persons cases can be extremely helpful. He goes in his own time with his own money to help in the search for missing people. And he's also friends with Rose, as am I, with Steve, and this whole wonderful group of people that help share information in missing persons cases. Okay, so we're going to listen to the Spaces because Steve answers a lot of questions from when he was there at the scene when Adventures with Purpose found Kylie's car. So that's why I find this really, really interesting, and I hope you do too.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to talk about what happened when you went there and just kind of talk all that out, or if you want people to come up and ask questions first. That's up to you.
Well, let me just give kind of a breakdown of what happened, because I see some of these questions, concerns, whatever you want to call them, about the notification process that happened. And I don't think that today's presser really clarified much about that. I can only talk about my sequence of events.
Yeah,
I can't speak
absolutely.
for any other individual, any organization, or anything. But what happened on Sunday? Well, let me back up. when I got there a week ago, there was at the recreation center, they had a trailer set up. That was like a command center for volunteers, I would call it. Um, and it was manned by volunteers. So they had maps and QR codes to tracking apps. Then actual physical maps taped to the side of the trailer. But they would show where areas that may be closed because they're being searched by law enforcement, or special notices. And they had cases of water where everybody checked in and you grabbed water, you grabbed whatever you needed. And um, the first day I got there kind of midday, and I happened to be so it's kind of on a four-way intersection, and right across the street from it is the California Highway Patrol building, which is a large facility. And then like one block down was the hotel where I was staying at. And so I checked in the hotel, and then I noticed, when I was just heading to Prosser for the first time, the command center was pretty, it was a big setup. And I stopped in there, and there was a male and a female, and I had no idea who they were. And I started just asking some questions uh, about the area itself and about the terrain. And then I just asked some questions about
I hope you guys can read this. I'm trying to figure out how to make this bigger. Like, how do we... Oh, now we just made it smaller. How do we make it bigger? Oh, we don't want to report it either. Man, that would be so nice if I could make it bigger, right? Interesting. If I go home, then what? Oh, okay. Continue playing this.
where the search, stood, and then I was curious if Kylie knew if Kylie knew that area very well. If she'd driven in Prosser a lot, or could she get lost? And the male said, well, she's been driving less than a year, so she could in that. And I kind of forgot, they were talking about a 16-year-old, and we started talking about it, and then it came out that it was her dad. I had no idea, Daniel. And so I introduced myself, and I told him that I was there to volunteer, and that anything I could do for them, just call on me. And we exchanged numbers and whatnot, and I went on my way and searched. The next morning, like 6 in the morning, I left the hotel, started searching again, and I went by the command trailer again to just see if there was a map update and whatnot. And I figured it would be closed, and there was nobody out in front of it or anything. There was a couple handwritten things on the map I noticed had changed, and one of them was kind of curious because it said that the last sighting was 1 a.m. and before it was 12:30. So I was sitting out there a while, and I was looking around on my. I got on my phone to see if like there had been a change in the timeline or anything. I couldn't find anything, and then the trailer door opened, and a dog came out, and then this other gentleman came out, and I was like, "Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't know anybody was in the trailer," and he he asked if I was, there to search, and I told him yeah, and we walked off to the side of the parking lot, and he introduced himself as Kylie's grandfather, and we spoke for probably a good 90 minutes, and so that's kind of how I originally met them. Um, then, so during that initial discussion, I'd originally told him, I said, I noticed that, for those that don't know, the family has a lodge of, I guess you would call it, and it's on a street called Coldstream, which is about a 4 mile. You go through a gate. It's a locked gate, and then you got a 4 mile dirt road. It's truly like off the grid, and it goes deep. And on the way back there, on maps, I've never been there, but I noticed that there was 3 individual ponds. And at the beginning, I'd asked him, has anybody searched Coldstream, and he didn't. Um, he said that yes, it had been searched. I think he said by a friend of his, and also law enforcement had been out there. But at the end of the conversation, he said, "You're welcome anytime. You want to come out to Coldstream and do it." And he gave me the code to the gate into their house, and he said, "You don't just go. You don't need. You've got my permission. I'm the owner of it. It's where the family lives, including her mom and her and Kylie lives there." And so that started a. So I went out there. I searched all day, and then I went out there to fly a drone late in the afternoon, and I drove out there. He was out at the very end. He was out, and flagged me down and asked me to have a glass of wine with him outside, and we did that. And we talked, and I just started to learn about the family, and um, which was tough because I could see that they were going through a lot of pain, and so cut to Sunday. That sequence of events with the notification, which was one of the worst moments of my life. Um, I got an email. He had told me that Saturday they have a property in a different county that he was going to just for the day. Um, and so um, I got an email early. Let's see, so I can be exact. I got an email from him Sunday at 10:17 in the morning. This is on Sunday. That he wanted to meet at the Coldstream property at 6 p.m. So I said, okay. Um, and then my plan was actually just to go, search again. I was going to do part at Prosser, and then I'm just going to just at that point I was really just kind of winging it, finding back streets up around, in the mountain areas. I was kind of splitting my day up. Then at 12:55, I got an email from him saying, um, hold on one sec, I'm gonna find it. 12:55. He said, "I'm headed to Prosper, 1 p.m." This came in at 12:55.
For anyone just joining now, we are listening to a Twitter Spaces from yesterday. Oh man, that I would have loved to be part of, but I had to pass out at 3 in the morning. Maybe I'll join the next one. And so Steve Fisher is talking now, a PI, and the drone pilot who shared the drone footage with us, and then the world on Twitter as well. You guys got to see some exclusive drone footage here first from the search area at the Prosser Reservoir, some of which some of you screenshotted some stuff and very likely saw Kylie's car in the water because, wow, which was amazing because I got so many emails of like, look at this. And I'm like, what? But many of you were only 20 foot or so off from where her car was actually found, which was quite amazing.
Or Prosser, not Prosper, Prosser. So I was already, out in that area, and so it didn't say anything more than that. And so I was out there, and when I got out there, I noticed that who I assumed was Ventures with Purpose because they had a large like camper trailer.
Some of you guys saying, so what I do is this. This is I listen to everything. I don't know about you guys. I listen to everything on 1.5 speed, so I'm going to do that, okay?
Rig and a setup, and I did see 2 small inflatable boats in the water. So I didn't go down on that what I would call a kind of like a peninsula. It's kind of like a diamond point sand beach, and I was up on the higher road, so that would be the road in between where the party location was and down at the beach where the car was found. And in between that is all these like thorn bushes and stuff. And everybody's I won't say everybody. When law enforcement had their search and rescue teams out there, I know that they were looking. One of the things they were looking for was the phone, or possibly jewelry evidence and stuff like that. So,
do you prefer it at this speed at 1.5? This is how I listen to his stuff. I listen to YouTube videos like this, spaces, anything, podcasts. But if it's too fast for you, let me know.
I was out there, and then I'd say I'm guessing about 1:30ish.
We'll just listen to about half an hour, okay? We're not going to listen to the whole 2 hours. As valuable as it all was, it was amazing to listen to. If you're on Twitter, I would highly recommend going to Rose's page and listening to it. I'll show you Rose's page again. But we'll listen to about half an hour, okay?
I ran across David, who that's her grandfather's name. And so we started chatting, and he is
Okay, you guys are saying normal speed.
He's a really cool guy. He's super, super nice. He's a listener. He takes in everything. He's really he's soft spoken, but you can tell he's really smart, and just super nice guy. And he just asked me, like, tell me what you think, Steve. Like, tell me, be honest with me. He's like, I just want the truth, and he would ask about certain things, which I'm not going to go over the individual things. So we were out there, maybe 20 minutes. I had run across him, and then a guy in a quad runner pulled up, and because he had he had a pistol and like a bulletproof jacket on. I figured it was law enforcement, and who I hadn't seen out there yet, but I thought maybe because Ventures of Purpose was out there, and I had a drone up a little bit earlier, they were coming to say something, but he took his helmet off and ended up being Daniel, who is her father, and who's Kelly's father. So now, so this is not, they're not father and son. This is Kylie's mom's dad, and then Kylie's birth dad. So they were father-in-law and son-in-law at one point. And so then I realized it's him, and so the three of us, we sat and talked for quite a while, and they're like, you can just tell that they're so confused, like, what the hell is going on? Like, where's our daughter? Where's our granddaughter? And I don't have any answers for them. I'm just like, listen, that I do a lot of this, and I can never answer that. I don't know. Like, when you're asking where could she be, I'm asking the same questions. I don't know. I just tell them, I'm like, I can tell you that I've personally worked cases where people that have been missing and they're found, and um but I told them, I said, it's serious that they're looking, they're law enforcement's very convinced that pain came from around the water area. And I said, that's serious, and they knew that. And and um throughout different questions throughout over the whole week, David would tell me, he's like, I appreciate the information. I appreciate, the real talk. He said to me, he's like, this is the most information I've gotten out of anybody since this whole thing began. He said, they just have not gotten any information, and that was a big point of frustration. And so, so the three of us are sitting out there, and we there was a discussion about a part of the actual party area, and we decided we wanted to see if we could find the exact trees in the photos that have been released from the party. There's like those three photos. Um, so I messaged, people that I work with on team through Discord, and said, "Can you please, um, because I'm dealing with them. I don't want to be thumbing through them. If I don't have Discord um, on my phone. I know what everybody probably does it that way. I do it on my laptop, and I didn't want to set up my laptop with a hotspot out there and whatnot. So I said, I sent a message to DX. I said, can you grab the party photos from Discord and text them to me?" And then that was like, so 2:11, and then so at that point it had been a little while to wait. But I was having the message wasn't going through, so I ended up setting up my hotspot, and then I did log into my laptop, and then I asked, and at 2:19, um, and these are all time stamped. I called uh, DX with with Kylie's dad and grandfather on speaker, and said, I told her why we need those pictures, and could you send them as soon as possible, just because they're like they're antsy, they want to. And so um she sends the pictures get sent to me, and we're um talking, we're going over like a couple of these trees are distinctive, and we're trying to figure out the distance between them so we know what to look for, because we're going to go up the hill. And now we're on this like road that kind of goes all the way around the like the party end of the where the party was, that wraps around to that diamond little beach area there where the car was found. We're up on a like a fire road up above, and so you can see like a tiny portion is not cut off of like where Adventures with Purpose is working down there. And um so at 2:48, um I was standing there talking to them, and I got a call from DX, and I could just tell by the way she said hello that I mean, I instantly knew that Kylie had been found. And sorry, she was kind of dragging, like didn't really want to say it, and I just said, just say it, just read it, just tell me what's. And she read the statement that had been found, and so I had my back to them at that point, because I knew something was off, and I kind of walked a few feet off, and I could see Ventures with Purpose were setting up cones around the area, and um, and then there's a lot of people out at Prosser, and there's a lot of people that were there to specifically watch Adventures with Purpose, and I could see people coming down the tree line, and so I knew that word was out, and I hung up and I told them, and it was I just had to tell a father and a grandfather that their 16-year-old daughter and granddaughter was gone, and she was in water, and it was really hard to do, and it shocked them, even though I think they knew. And we it was about 200 yards to where they were at. We rushed over there, Measures with Purpose. They didn't know who we were, because her father was running down. They kind of came out to stop us, and I think they thought that it was from social media. And we told them who we were, and they were um, they were great. They were super comforting. There was no celebration or anything going on their end. That was very sad, and they showed me proof of the car and Kylie, and I told told David and Daniel that it's the car, and there remains inside, and which they knew, and there was no I see these accusations of trying to, like, somehow I'm proud of being the one that told them. It was one of the worst moments of my life, and people making those accusations, I think, need to have a they need to have a basis for doing it. Uh, I know I did the right thing. If I didn't, I would have had that knowledge, and somebody running down the hill would have been like, "Did you hear she's found?" Like, is they're going to, like, look and check it out. I can't sit on that information. It was put out there as a statement that the car was found and Kiely was found inside. I'm not going to call 911 and be like, I have some news to tell somebody. Can you come out to Prosser Dam Reserve? That's not the way life works. I don't care if people think that law enforcement should have notified them. Then maybe law enforcement should have been out there when they knew that there was a sonar search going on. If that was the case, there was not one law enforcement presence in the entire park. So we, Doug from Ventures with Purpose, myself, David and Daniel, went down by the short line where the buoy was out there, where Kiely was at, and he told us how they found it, and he he explained that he hopes this brings some closure to the family, but obviously don't want this to be how things go. And then we had some talks about Kiely and how this could have happened, which I'll keep private. And then after about 20, 25 minutes, law enforcement vehicles started showing up. And they asked, they said that they wanted David and Daniel to go to the CHP building. Daniel, her father, agreed to go, and David said, I'm not going to leave my granddaughter. Not until I see that car. I'm not going to leave my granddaughter. And he said, please don't make me leave her. And they agreed. And then he said, please don't make him leave. I need him here. And to me, and I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to witness any of this, but I was more than willing to be there for him. And that's why I stayed. As soon as David, as soon as we saw the nose of the car coming out, he just wanted to see, the car. He didn't want to see her. And we left, and the rest of his family was across the lake on the shore. He went and met them, and I went and checked out of my hotel. But there was about 4 or 5 hours period of time that we were there. And for all the people that are saying that I'm not a private investigator, I'm not a real private investigator, I'm running a scam, I'm doing this, even though I've never billed a penny in my life for private investigation work. I just want you, and the people that are calling law enforcement saying this, I want you to know that CHP, Prosser County Sheriff's Office, Nevada County Sheriff's Office, FBI, and the FBI card team. Oh, did I lose it? All right. Am I still on?
Yeah, you're still
Yeah,
here.
you're here.
Oh, okay. My phone shut. So, yeah, CHP, Prosser County Sheriff, Nevada County Sheriff, FBI, and members of the FBI card team were all there running separate investigations. Every single one of them took my name, my address, my date of birth, my credentials, and my badge for my PI. But none of them had an issue whatsoever. So the fact that people are trying to raise an issue about this is none of anybody's business. If I'm a PI, even if I charge, even though I don't charge, it's my business if I charge. I do everything by the book. I don't have to be licensed in every state. I can go and volunteer my time anywhere I want. I'm not acting as anybody's PI when I do that. Just the fact that I have a private investigation license doesn't mean I all of a sudden can undo having that if I go to a state where I'm not licensed or doesn't have reciprocity. So the people making these, listen, I'm not an idiot. Okay. I know how to play by the book. The fact that I want to help people, the reason I got my PI license originally years ago, and then I let it go for a while, and then I picked it back up in some states. The reason that I did that, or
Sorry to interrupt. Katie says this guy is one that should be protected and covered with positive vibes and love, and I couldn't agree more. He does have a lot of haters online, whole groups that really hate his guts, and it's quite terrible to see on social media. And I've been watching, observing it all for quite a few months now, just seeing what happens and who and what and where and what's going on. But I really like Steve, and I really think he's so authentic, and you can hear it in his voice, in my opinion. I don't know. I resonate with him. I think the Grizzlies would resonate with him, and I really appreciate what he did out there.
originally is for the same reason I do it now, because I want to help people and I want to have access to information and I want to have knowledge. I want the continuing education. I'm constantly going to, um, different, like LAPD. You can take, all their, you know, courses as a civilian. I go to training all the time. I'm a
We're going to listen to more of this now. You guys say, like, why did they do this? Remember, I don't get into the drama, but if you just observe on Twitter, you might be able to observe some patterns for yourself and just see. And it might be some sort of, I don't know what, rivalry. I don't know. But does Steve have a YouTube channel? If you follow him here on Twitter at SF_investigates, you can find his YouTube channel, but it's mostly unlisted videos. So it's better to go here on his Twitter account, and you can click on the footage here, and it will take you to his YouTube channel to watch this unlisted video. Okay.
search and rescue pilot. I'm a commercial license pilot. I've been doing this a long time. I didn't just start this just because I've met some of these people around the time that the Gabby Petito case was going on. I've been doing this for 20 years. So for those people, that's fine. If you want to go out, you want to bother law enforcement and stuff like that. I was there. There's plenty of pictures. I was there. Every single one of those agencies, they would not let you. They were processing it as a potential crime scene. They were not going to let outsiders inside that tape. So they don't have a problem with it. So I don't know why anybody else is trying to have a problem with it. It's disrespectful to the family. It's noise that does not need to be out there. This family's grieving. Quite frankly, I'm a wreck over this. This is not easy stuff to do. And and the last thing I'll say again, I just want to reiterate, like, if you think that this was a contest, that I was trying to be the one to tell the family or tell the father and the grandfather, you're dead wrong. That was one of the worst moments, besides losing my mom and my brother. That's probably the worst moment of my life. I never wanted to do that again. Um, and if you think that I was there for that moment, that I got any glory in that, I didn't. And final thing I'll say, the tweet that I put out announcing that was myself and Doug from Adventures with Purpose, and David and Daniel talked about it. We said, there's a ton, like, my phone was blowing up at that point, and I said, I think we should put something out, and we typed it up, and David, her grandfather, said, "Steve, those are facts. I'm fine with facts." And I put it out with their permission. Because of all the um, trash talking that's going on online, this morning I was talking to her father online. I brought it up and I said, I know I'm so sorry that there's people out there that they're dragging your daughter's name into this because they have an issue with me. I said they're trying to make it into an event that I was the one that notified you and David. And he replied back, "I think you made the right call, Steve. I stand by your decision. I agree with what you did. I really do appreciate it as well." And that's where it ended. And that's all I really have to say about that situation. And if anybody still has issue with it, I'll answer your questions as long as they're public knowledge. They're not speculation on the investigation. If you have an issue still with me, take it to me personally. Don't involve Kylie's name in it. Okay. Like, just be like, "I hate you and I want to fight this out on Twitter." That's fine. We can do that. Leave Kiely and her family out of it, please. Stop calling them, or stop calling law enforcement to try and verify facts that they know about. Do you think?
Exactly. So just remember, we are all on Team Kiely. In every case that we covered, Team Gisela Fuentes is the case we covered today. Because a lot of times, I don't know, it feels like even between content creators, we saw that happen as well. And I don't get into the drama, right? Between content creators, it can easily become a distraction to beef over, I don't know, each other. You know what I mean? But the focus, the laser beam focus must always be the missing person or the victim and their families. That's what we want to do. And if we do look at obvious red flags in any case, because I always have to do this disclaimer, otherwise then it's like, but what about, okay, there's obvious red flags at times. Why do we look at red flags? For example, analyzing the things that Sammy said that makes no sense in the Kiely Rodni case, in the timeline. Why do we analyze it or think about it? I personally felt protective of Kiely. Super protective. Wait. So she's 16. She's at this party. You see her drunk. She can't walk. She can't drive. Okay, wait. And then you're just going to leave her behind? And then I zone in on why, what, where. Let's analyze this. Protective of the victim and their family. Always. On this channel. That's what you're going to get on this channel. If you don't like that, there's other channels. There's many other channels, right? But that's my primary focus at all times, is to protect the victim and their families. So even when we looked at the red flags of Sammy, she's not family. She was supposedly a friend. And from everything we've learned, even from Kylie's close friend, Kate, she's not even a close friend. So we look at red flags. We look at it. What are you saying? Why are you saying it? You're the last person who called her? Really? At what time? What? Where? We can look at that. But we have to do our best to protect the victims of crime or a missing person, right? And their families. Sometimes families could be the villains at the end of the day in a case. Not in this case, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, but we at all costs try to protect the victims and their families, right? Okay, so if you guys want to listen to this some more, I would recommend it. You could see it's still an hour 47 left. Rose hosted this space, so check out Rose's page. I'm going to close this now, and I'm going to just zoom out a little bit. Check out Rose's page. Here is the spaces right up here. It's pinned, so you can go listen to it if you are on Twitter. If you do head over to Twitter, just download the app, make an account. It's real quick. And you can follow Rose, you can follow Steve at SF Investigates, and also follow me at Grizzly Gisela. All right? Okay, sorry. I will be checking messages. My bad. One more time. Today, an autopsy was conducted on the deceased individual who was found in the Prosser Reservoir on Sunday, August 21st, by Adventures with Purpose. I wish they would say that. That would be nice, right? The Nevada County Sheriff Coroner has identified the decedent as 16-year-old Kiely Rodni of Truckee. The Placer County Sheriff's Office and the Nevada County Sheriff's Office are in communication with Kylie's family and offer our deepest condolences to them during this extremely difficult time. This is an ongoing investigation and no other information is available at this time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, mods. Thank you, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the time with me as I did with you. Right? And it says, gee, I'm tired of people pouncing on whatever they think we all love you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I didn't think I said it, but if I mumbled it, I am so sorry. I was probably reading someone's comment and then responding to it. But I will get some rest. I've been working very hard, I'm very passionate about the work I do. I have a great purpose in what I do. And I really appreciate you all for being here, for subscribing, for, being part of this community. Grizzly, true crime. You guys are all Grizzlies if you didn't know. So if you're not a Grizzly yet, please subscribe. Rob was just telling me earlier that one of my earlier streams where I interviewed a former detective had 6 people in the chat, 6. And it's got 2 comments, and one of the comments from me. I'm like, what? Like, wow, look at all of you here now. Look at all of you here now. This is amazing. So thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. I really appreciate it. And don't be frustrated. It's an emotional time. It is. And that was my live reaction to reading that news. I'm like, what? Anyway, so thank you so much, everyone. And I will see you again soon. All right. Bye.